It's a night game here in Chapel Hill as our 3-2 Tigers lock up with the 3-2 Tar Heels of North Carolina. First quarter action, Kincaid keeps the option right, has some open field and picks up 11. A few plays later, Kincaid drops back and hits Clark on the curl for 11. Then Tez Carter gets his hand on the ball. He goes up the middle for a gain of 12. The drive was stalled. Mendez will try a field goal, but he pushes it left. UNC's offense takes over. Surratt drops back and hits Jackson on the sideline for 7. Then the QB goes play action, and he threads the needle to Ratliff Williams for 19. A few plays later, Surratt shows off his touch by hitting Prohl on the sideline for 11. The drive was stalled, and UNC was settled for a field goal. GSU comes back out throwing. DK1 drops back and hits Clark wide open for 14. Then Kincaid and Clark would link up again, this time for a gain of 22. Later, Kincaid keeps the option right, hits the circle button and gains 11. Then DK1 would drop back and check out this throw to route across the middle for 11. Grambling would get on the board with this 1-yard TD run by Tez Carter. 7-3 Grambling State. After a UNC 3-and-out, Tez Carter comes out running. He takes the handoff, follows his blocks, and gets 10. Then Kincaid goes play action, rolls right, and tries to force a pass to Davis, but is picked off by Stewart. He had Salmon wide open on the sideline. But Grambling would get the ball right back. Surratt drops back, tries to go across the middle, and is picked off by Jackson. G-men come up big, but Kincaid would give it right back. He throws the corner route late and is picked off by Dorn, the safety. And UNC would make the G-men pay. Surratt hits Prohl streaking down the sideline. Tar Heels back on top. Grambling hits the ground running. Kincaid keeps the option right and gains 16 yards. And a few plays later, another option play for Kincaid. He follows his blocks, makes a cut, and gets 13. Later in the drive, Flowers will take the handoff and walk into the end zone. Grambling goes up at the half, 14-10. Story of the first half has to be Kincaid and his 2 interceptions. Let's see how he bounces back in the second half. Start of the third, Surratt drops back, tries to take off, but stumbles and is finally sacked by Big Alan Clark. Then check out this cheese. Surratt drops back, has all day to throw. He finally throws it deep to Jackson. Pouncey goes up to pick it off, tips it to Jackson. He catches it, and he would take it inside the red zone. And UNC would take the lead right back. Surratt drops back. He sees an opening on the left, darts into the end zone. 17-14 Tar Heels. GSU looks to answer back. Kincaid goes option right, follows his blocks and picks up 12. Then Kincaid goes back to the air. He hits route across the middle. He turns on the Jets and gains 23. Later, Kincaid goes back to the air, but is picked off for the third time, this time by Stewart. Another drive killer. But the G-men force a 3-and-out, and Tez takes the counter right. Gets to the corner and turns it upfield and gets a huge gain. Then on 3rd and long, Kincaid drops back and finds route open behind the defense. He catches it in stride and is tripped up after a 40-yard gain. Next play, Kincaid keeps the option right, and he fights his way to the goal line. Then number 4 would get number 2 on the day, putting GSU back on top. Start of the fourth, UNC driving. Surratt keeps the option up the middle, follows his blocks and gets down to the 1-yard line. Next play, Sutton tries to go up the middle, but is blown up by Victoria and the rest of the G-men defense for a 5-yard loss. But Surratt would get those yards right back. He would drop back and hit Prohl in the back of the end zone. 24-21 North Carolina. It's crunch time for our Tigers. Kincaid would drop back, hits Carter on the check down, and he spams the circle button to get the first. A few plays later, Kincaid goes on a deep drop, hits Davis on the outside for a 14-yard gain. Later in the drive, Kincaid throws a rope to Davis on the slant. 1st and goal, GSU. Then Kincaid would take matters in his own hands. He keeps the option right, fights into the end zone, Grambling back on top. Last chance for the Tar Heels. Surratt drops back, tries to throw it as far as he can, but it's knocked down. Grambling does it again. They pull off the upset. 28-24 is the final. What a game. Sloppy game for DK1. He finished 21 of 30 for 238 yards and 3 interceptions. The run game was dominant. Tez Carter carried the ball 24 times for 137 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Kincaid rushed 14 times for 103 yards in the score. Darrell Clark led the way for the Whiteouts with 7 grabs for 75 yards, and Route finished with 3 catches for 74. On defense, the G-men controlled the Tar Heels run game. Dearius Christmas finished with 7 tackles, and Alan Clark and Donald Freeman had a sack apiece. Another great win for our Tigers. This team is really overachieving right now, but they have a tough test this week against UCF. Thanks for watching, guys. In the Tigers Den podcast, we'll recap the game, look at the newest additions to the Elite 18, and scout UCF. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're brand new. And hit me up on those links in the descriptions, man. Follow your boy on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Big C Got Game. And have a great day, guys. 2 fingers in the air. Peace.